Hey, it's Bob Negen, and if you are a little stressed out because times are uncertain or sales are slow, this episode of Real Retail TV is for you. So before we get into specific strategies to deal with the stress of uncertain times, I would like to invite you to Retailpalooza 2. So last year we had so much fun at Retailpalooza, we decided to do it again. It is going to happen October 9. There's going to be 6 hours of great retail content, lots of giveaways, lots of fun. It will be an event worth attending. So put it on your calendar, go down below, click on the link, register. That way we'll keep you posted on all the good stuff that's happening. But I guarantee it's going to be a day worth participating in. So let's talk about what to do if you're stressed about uncertainty or your sales are down. The reason I'm making this episode of Real Retail TV is recently in our WhizBang Retailers Facebook page, somebody said, sales are down 25%. I'm nervous. It's making me a little scared. And then like 75 people piled on, and people said things like horrible inflation is happening, or the US economy has to grow, or we're all in trouble. And you know what I have to say to that? I say bullshit. So listen, there's $27 trillion in the US economy. All you have to do is get your fair share. So what happens is, and I know because, when I was in retail, I lived through 3 recessions. Since we started WhizBang training, I've lived through one. I've almost gone broke twice. So I've been there. I've been in those stressful situations. And here's what I know. You have to respond to stress with action. If you let fear dictate your behavior, you're going to be in trouble. So you have to respond to stress with action. I'm going to give you a couple of ideas in just a second, but my first action item, if you're feeling that kind of stress, is, quit watching the news. Here in the US, we have a presidential election coming up in just a few short weeks. And, all of this uncertainty is driving the news cycles, and people are using the economy both for and against. It's just part of the political play that's happening out there. So try to get out of your news feed and try to quit getting bad news coming into your brain. So, respond to stress with action. That's the first thing. Do something. So here are some things that you can do. The first thing that you can do is you can work on doing more with the customers who are already coming into your store. What do I mean by that? I mean, build the average ticket. I have a coaching client who's got 68 stores, shoe stores in Hungary right now. And inflation is truly a big problem in Hungary. In Hungary, it was hot. And if you're back to school and you're trying to sell fall goods and it's 90 degrees, it's a problem. And so he's down. And we were talking about strategies. Number one strategy, do more with the traffic you already have. Average ticket. Get your team focused on selling. If you don't have the Retail Sales Academy, this is a perfect opportunity to consider it, to check it out. Maybe sign up, get your people on it, get them trained, build that average ticket. Because if you have less traffic, but a higher average ticket, that higher average ticket offsets the decrease in traffic. The second thing that I'm going to recommend is activity, activity, activity. And not just random activities, money-making activities. Random social posts are not activity. A Facebook Live is activity. Doing more promotions in your store, that is money-making activity. So ramp up the activity that you're doing to get more people in your store and build that average ticket. You see, when you start thinking about more building your average ticket and doing more with the traffic you already have, that will give you momentum. That is responding to stress with action. The final thing that I want to talk to you about is managing your cash. When times are uncertain, this is a great time for you to put off big capital improvements. If you're thinking about getting a new point of sale system, you might want to wait till you get things back in order. You want to protect your cash. Cash is king. So you want to pay attention to your cash. And so what is the number one cash investment you probably have in your business? It's your inventory. So what I'm suggesting is that you sell down all of your dogs. You get your inventory lean and mean. And you're very, very careful about what you buy. I'm not saying you buy down to the bone. I'm saying you're careful with what you buy, because cash is king. Inventory is your number one cash investment. So pay attention to that. So let's sort of review. Number one, pay attention to the way you think. Keep your mindset forward. Keep your mindset positive. Respond to stress with action. How do you respond to stress with action? More activity. There's just something about doing something that gives you momentum. Pay attention to your cash, and finally, and perhaps most importantly, get focused on sales training so you do the absolute most with the traffic you already have. So I hope that you found that helpful. If you have any other ways that you combat, the stress that comes from uncertainty, put them down below. I would love to hear about them. All right, everybody, I'm Bob Negen. We'll see you next week.